If such a backstory, a blossoming friendship, Takasugi finding a place to exist, one that doesn't look down on everyone if they don't have a family connected to the Shogun or solid gold toilet. But with their fight really coming to a climax, I'm assuming that we are going to see the origins of that animosity. But of course, with one trying to take down the country, the other trying to protect it, which resolve will win out? Starting straight off back at the school. But as long as there's a chance, it's gonna have to really train. They're both worse for wear. Could you call this a victory? Alright, call it a draw. But with his, I guess with his plan, with just taking down Kentucky, the last thing really truly standing in his way, might be a victory. And getting to see all of the students and hopefully the events which led up to everything, like I've been saying since this started going on. The teacher has been such like an influential figure throughout everything. What Takasugi saw, what Gintoki saw. Okay, so what, is it based on an entire just misunderstanding? Then what's so bad about that? Of course, you're going against the school he was in, the fact his family got him there, and could be seen around such lowly folk. Would you... Yet the ones that claim themselves to be samurai, do they really seem the type to that you'd want to follow along as, like, who pretend to know what they're doing? And that's all it takes. And yeah, I heard Ronan. There you go. All it takes is for some people to throw their might around because they have a false sense of power and righteousness. But he's learned a lot. He's found something to truly fight for, put his might behind. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen. And the beginning of their little team might as well live up to those rumours then. Hey, did the wrapping of his sword just disappear? Yeah. It really puts up to what they're made of. Are they going to stand back, watch it all go down? Throw away the shackles of status and join him? Some different fighting poses there. And really not doing their school any favours by acting like this, but they're actually making way for him. Even if they charged first, but still. Just the threat of it there. They're going to be punished. What kind of past did the teacher have to have that much kind of bloodlust for the moment? And for all of the officials to drop their trousers and run. Just how much does he keep up his nose? There we go. He's planted a couple of morons. Did that little trip down memory lane do anything for him? And what would his teacher say to him in his current state? For the vision of the teacher to be replaced with Gintoki, who was it that truly inhabited like his teachings? Huh. Stop being so locked in the past. I do like how now just getting down and dirty hand-to-hand combat. And that might be part of the problem. He's clinging to the old times and memories. Rather than taking teachings. I was wondering if they were going to hold the silence a little, though. Right. So he's taking all of the pent-up anger and hatred for losing his teacher and putting it squarely at the feet of Gintoki. That really kind of clarifies some things. And seeing an actual battlefield strewn about like that. Then what is it with these guys in their uniforms with the big hats and staves? Okay. Now the Gintoki standing in front on the precipice of the cliff makes sense. And why Takasugi holds him as enemy number one. Now that was devoid of any like technique or anything. That was just unbridled emotion. And everything that they fought and believed in really pushed to the limits and tested. Really showing the strain. You've never seen him so distraught before. You're going back to the executioner arc? Seemed like a pretty swift slice. Are we getting the words? How many times do we need to replay the scene, and how many times has Takasugi replayed it in his head? And what the teacher was trying to protect and stave off by sacrificing himself there really burned into something else with Takasugi. And that's how he lost his eye. What was the... That's what he saw. That's what burned into the back of his eyelid. Oh. There's no need to fear them anymore. And that actually turned out to be quite a big mistake on their part. Not a bad transition, but it could have been done better. It could have been all so much easier. But no, it had to be his fellow pupil and friend. As angry as Shinsuke is, the fact that once again it's just another thing for Gintoki to bear on his shoulders. Well, against Obero and everyone else that was there. Just how much of a purpose did he give to all of them? So basically, this can stem down to like survivor's guilt. The path that could have been. He just doesn't know when to quit, does he? He's still one up in the fight. He will protect his dream. Despite what they have became. Is he about to collapse? That would do it. Of course, this should end. Ooh, the slide. End such a pleasant reunion. Oh, fuck's sake. Of course, you wouldn't just bring him back in a flashback. Oh, God. And we end it there. At least a 7-part arc. Really detracting away from where it all began. Shogun assassination, wanting to topple an entire country. When in reality it just stems from, heartbreak. Him having that anger which led him to the path for all this time, and being that he's so upset that it's not just losing the teacher, is it? It's losing the school, losing his friends, lashing out at what so easily could have been him. Lashing out at what so easily could have been him. If but mere chance it was Gintoki that bore the brunt of everything, not only shouldering the death of the teacher at his own hands, but the ire of Takasugi. Katsura seemed to be getting along with it pretty okay, even if he is also wanting to topple the shogunate. But also getting like this character who's been set up over 300 episodes to be like that boogeyman in the back who has the connected past to Gintoki, and it's really just not anything complicated. It's something that you can understand, something you can feel, something tangible. I think that really makes a good character when you can understand motivations, what they're fighting for, what they're angry about. Even if some of their actions do seem a little out there. And wanting to take down the crooked world that took out his teacher, even if he has to swing a sword at those that he vowed to protect. Such complicated feelings. And being that Shinsuke would have easily acted exactly the same as Gintoki, had he been in his steps, as Gintoki said. Is that why he's really so angry? They are both one of the same, and if it meant saving the teacher at sacrificing the others, that would just be a selfish desire, not what their beloved sensei wanted. But of course then, ruining the moment entirely by having a large chunk of metal impaled for his back. Oboro is back, and not taking things lightly. Really quite mocking Gintoki and that lot for throwing away the chance the teacher gave them, even though they have lived for a few decades. And we're now going to see some working together, despite if they can only stand with medical aid. This entire arc is really something to behold. There have been other episodes and arcs that is maybe hit on a more emotional level, but in the terms of storytelling, just beautiful. If you agree with me, let me know down below. Consider leaving a like and a subscribe. Whatever you want to do. But we know Gintama is something that was really quite worth it. So join me again. See you there. If you don't want to experience a very painful backstory and several episodes of flashbacks, consider joining onto my Patreon instead, otherwise I may just subject you to it. And trust me, my history is nowhere near as interesting. But should you wish to join the comrades in arms that are my patrons, you'll be alongside Electricant, Naku, Raywin, Kite, Sal, Shiwan, Mats, Dinsfire, Gurley, Saltatron Cardboards, Croyville, Jennifer Rojas, Alvin Garcia Santiago, Di Fiero, Dark Shadow 7899, Defender of Segs, and everyone else. I just hope none of you turn against me.